Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey.
I'm Holly.
And we're in a little fun surprise here. We're invited out by Hyundai to test drive the new IONIQ 5 XRT off-road. And in this video, we're going to do just that. Stay tuned. All right, Holly, before we set off in this one, we've spent the day in a limited model, which is the grade trim right above this one. But this is the off-road version, and there's some fun stuff here on the steering wheel that we did not get in the other one. Most notably, this button right here, terrain mode. So I push that, and now I get snow, mud, and sand. We're in the desert, so I'm going to leave it in sand. That also overlaps the drive modes that we've got here. So I'm actually going to put it in sport mode in sand mode. So a little bit of fun there between the two. We've got an inch more of ground clearance. We've got better approach and departure angles. So let's put this thing in drive and we will set off. We've got all-terrain wheels and tires on this one. So it should be fun out here in the sand. I'm excited to see what you do in this one. But interesting, I don't know if you picked up in the press conference, no underbody protection in this one. We've got batteries, chemicals down underneath us in the batteries that we do not want to puncture.
You don't want to do a bunch of rock climbing.
No, this is not.
But it is higher than the regular one.
About an inch taller than the regular one, but no underbody protection. So this really is a desert runner. They brought us out here on purpose. Yeah, this is not a rock crawler. I would not be doing Moab in this. I'm curious just how much stuff I would do back home at Barnwell in this. But this really is the environment this was designed for. Hyundai America is built or headquartered here in California. So this is like their thing.
Mud.
Yeah. I will also say that this really fits the trend of off-road looking, but not super off-road capable vehicles. Everybody wants something that looks off-road ready. This absolutely looks off-road ready. Those all-terrain tires.
People just want a car that if they pull over in the national park, they can do that.
100%. This would do that.
You want to talk about some of the features that are different on the inside, or maybe some of the things that are missing that you give up for this model? The biggest one being the big window at the top that I really liked in the Limited.
Yeah, I don't know if that's an option. Future me will put that on the screen. We do not have the big glass roof on this one. We don't have memory seats on this one.
That's a big one. Don't have sunshades in the back seat. Don't have ventilated seats.
Yeah. Don't have leather seats. So we've got the
leather seats.
I forget what they call it, but the fancy leather seats, H-Tex.
But you do have a few XRT Easter eggs. Like your pixel design down here in the XRT in the seats. So guess it just depends on what features you're looking for.
And then everything in here is hard plastic, but that makes it very easy to clean in theory. So if you're out here getting everything dusty, you could just get a wet wipe and wipe it all down.
That's nice. Yeah.
So it makes that a little bit easier. This really is a fun family vehicle. We've loved having the day that we've spent in the Limited. We enjoyed it the last IONIQ 5 we had at home. There are some other things that make this 2025 model special above and beyond us being in this special XRT. What do we have on the back window?
Mud.
Not anymore, we don't.
All right. A windshield wiper.
Yep, so we have
back windshield wiper.
A rear window wiper back there. We have the new NEX charge port, first non-Tesla vehicle with a Tesla plug back in the back. So very updated and modern in that sense. And then we'll just head this way. I am curious.
Head to the off-road.
Here we go, off-road. Very interesting camera usage. I like this because I'm in terrain mode. I can actually see both of my front tires, which I very much like. Oh no, but what I don't like is the lawyer seems to have stepped in. And if you get going too fast, the cameras go away. but I do like being able to see both of my front tires. That is a camera view we have not gotten in other trims of the IONIQ 5, and it is something I critiqued on other XRT models, that we didn't have 360 cameras. The only other XRT model with 360 cameras, the pickup truck, the little Santa Cruz. So
yeah,
if you're gonna give us off-road tech, give us some visibility outside the vehicle. I very much appreciate the extra cameras here in this one. But bird's eye view, both of my front tires, I can see on this narrower trail exactly where we're going. And I'm just gonna follow the tire treads from in front of us and see exactly what this thing is capable of. You had mentioned earlier an inch extra ground clearance in this one, which is nice and welcome. They have those revised front and rear bumpers that are a special black plastic that make it look more rugged, but also serve the purpose of giving us a better approach and departure angle, so that when you are venturing off the beaten path, as we are, you don't have to worry about, you know, hitting your chin on anything or dragging your tail on anything. Got a 30-degree departure angle, and a lot of that is thanks to this being an EV and the wheels being stretched out to the absolute corners on this. The wheelbase is longer than that of a Hyundai Palisade.
Yeah, which is really interesting, because that's a 3-row SUV.
And here we've got a 2-row crossover SUV, whatever you want to call it. But impressive wheelbase in this, which also makes the ride a lot better.
This is really soft sand.
Yes, and I can feel us kind of squirreling and sliding in it. But it's very fun. Let's see this extra throttle response, what we've got here. But so the terrain mode in this modulates your throttle, as does the sport mode that I layered on top of terrain mode. But terrain modes do allow for extra wheel slippage so you don't get stuck. If anyone's been wheeling in the soft stuff, as we are right now, you know that forward momentum is your friend. You just want to keep momentum going, and other all-wheel drive systems will start cutting power when you have wheel slippage, but this terrain mode adds wheel slippage so that you can keep moving, because we are in some deep stuff right here. My goodness, this really is testing out the dual motor all-wheel drive, but I mean, we were able to putt right through it.
In the all-terrain tires.
Yes. Continental CrossContact tires, what we've got underneath us here on this one. So not the most extreme tire, but I do appreciate they are 18-inch. They aren't 20-inch. They aren't oversized wheels with rubber band tires. I like, you hear me talk about sidewall a lot. Sidewall helps with ride quality. It also helps with traction. You want traction when you're in this loose sand, as we are out here in the Coachella Valley. What are your thoughts over there riding shotgun? I'm going to put you behind the steering wheel here in a little bit, but what are your thoughts over there?
You're freaking me out.
I'm freaking you out.
I mean, it's riding really well, but in the soft sand, it kind of made me nervous. You made me nervous. If you weren't here, I would be doing even more than this. I will let you know that. I would be, I don't know that this trail is big enough for throwing up some rooster tails, but that would be my desire in the back of my head, is getting some rooster tails of dirt back behind us. I will say, I really like the cameras, but it is really annoying that when you get up to a certain speed, I'm just doing 7 miles an hour right now, the cameras go away. So I think it's over 5 miles per hour, the cameras go away. That is a huge miss. They're almost there. Yeah, they're almost there. Like, you have to just hold your hand here by the camera button, but like nothing right now at 7 and 8 miles per hour. If the lawyers are going to step in, 10, 15, maybe, but come on, Hyundai, so close. I do appreciate the 360 cameras, I really do, but this is a miss for me. You're like, they're so close. They're so close. We're going to get a little bit of speed here, see what the suspension is like.
This is a big, heavy EV. So they put big, massive tow hooks up front that are
slow.
I know, babe. They put big, massive tow hooks on the front of this for recovery because if this thing got stuck, it would take a lot to pull it out. But interestingly enough, no tow hooks on the back. So is that a miss? I don't know. But here, we'll go up here. Another thing.
Can it tow?
It can, though I don't know that I would want to in this. So here's another instance where the cameras come in handy. When you're pointed up and you can't see the ground underneath you, you get the cameras going and a nice forward momentum. With the added weight of this, do you feel like it's riding rough out here? I know we haven't really gotten a lot of speed.
Yeah, no, not really. Back there where there were a lot of bigger rocks. A little bit, but we were going over big rocks.
Yeah. I am very curious.
A lot of little baby rocks.
When we got here to this location, we drove the limited model over some kind of washed out areas. I'm very curious if I drove this exact same one over the exact same spots, if this would ride any better. The biggest difference in the ride is going to be those wheels and tires, because we are on 20-inch wheels and tires, on-road tires in the limited model, but here we've got these 18-inch all-terrain tires. Slippy, slidey stuff. Whee!
I don't think we needed to do that.
Oh yeah. I would love to test this thing out in a little bit more speed, but this course is clearly not laid out for that. And I mean, that's okay.
Yeah.
For what this is a speed date with it. We're not going to do anything absurd. Yes, gearheads, Hyundai flew Holly and I out here to Southern California, to the desert, to see their desert rated EV. And that's really what this thing, it's desert rated. We have 7 inches of ground clearance over the standard 6. We've got the plastic bumpers up front here. We've got these massive tow hooks, and all this stuff makes for a good desert runner EV without much of a range penalty. But I want to bring you in closer and show you some of the details on this that you can't see from there, that you really have to come close to appreciate. The entire IONIQ lineup got a mild refresh for 2025, but this XRT is the biggest differentiating vehicle in the lineup. It is a new trim that slots just under the top limited. So it starts out SE, SEL, then this XRT, and then the limited. But as I mentioned, there's a lot going on up front here that you really had to come close to see, like the black plastic cladding on this that has that parametric pixel designed camo all throughout. Just the attention to detail. Depending on the light, it looks different from certain directions, and coming in extremely close, you can see that it is actually textured all the way around. So very impressive work on the plastic of this, just to give it a different look, different feel all the way around. You can see the plastic does go up just underneath the headlights, so it really does cover the entire front. We have those big massive tow hooks that again do help for recovery, whether it's for you or someone else. That front bumper is also revised for a better approach angle. You know, EVs have the wheels put out to the corners anyway, so they already have a better approach departure angle than most. But this is an even better approach angle than the non-XRT model. And then we get these 18-inch pixel-like designed wheels that are reminiscent of old Steelies, but they are aluminum. They are wrapped in 235/60 R18 Continental CrossContact all-terrain tires. So that's pretty nice. You can see we have a new matte gray paint on this particular model. And yes, we were going down some narrow trails, so you can see we get all that marking down the side from all the bushes and brush we're coming up against. But a generally clean look. You can see even coming down the side here, we have rugged lower cladding there underneath the doors. a 30-degree departure angle on this, which is quite impressive. Coming in close, the 2025 model lineup is the first with that NAX Tesla plug, which is very nice. And then the rear, very hard to tell on this dark painted model here, but that black plastic cladding does go all the way up to the taillights here on the corners, and we have XRT embossed here on the back. Very clean look all the way around, and the biggest telltale sign that this is a 2025 from the back view, besides the fact that it's an XRT, well, it's that right there in the middle of the rear window. Yes, we have a rear wiper now on all 2025 model IONIQ 5s. Very welcome change, and just proof that Hyundai does listen to their customers. All right, Holly, that was fun and all with me behind the wheel. And, you know, I am, believe it or not, restraining myself out here in the desert in an off-road vehicle. But what do you say we switch places and you hop behind the wheel and see what this is like for you in the desert in the IONIQ 5 XRT? Yes, no?
I don't know. I guess I have to.
That's why we're here, right?
Ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Are you ready?
No, I'm not ready. I can tell you that right now. I'm already not looking forward to the mountain we have to go on the side of.
Mountain. This just shows you the difference between she and I when it comes to off-roading. But this really is a good test of, like, the people who are buying this aren't going to be serious rock crawlers. We've already talked about the batteries underneath us. It's not what this is built for. This is built for, as you said, you know, going out in the state park or national park and exploring.
Driving out on the beach.
Exploring some trails. Which, yes, the sand mode in this, the all-terrain
Am
tires.
I in sand mode now?
Yes, you are.
Okay. I'm all set.
Yep. Nothing's changed from how I was driving, so you are all set.
How do we already have mud on the back again?
I'm sorry. Yeah, would you like some help with that?
Ew.
No backup camera, rear view camera mirror in this one either. So, interesting things that you lose in translation from the top limited to the trim just underneath it in XRT. But I still like that there are cameras, but...
All right, so I did it.
She's done.
Off-road.
Now, I am interested to get your thoughts and opinions and your reactions to some of the... Especially that loose, deep, soft sand. What it feels like to you over there behind the driver's seat. What did it feel like to you over here? I know you were...
Yeah, I felt like I felt like we were going to go sliding off.
Yeah.
Not because of the car, just because...
The situation.
The situation.
I will keep my finger here on the camera button because this is one of those places where it is kind of narrow. And we'll go ahead.
I'm going to take out some cones.
They were cones. There you go. I do like those cameras, but it aggravates me that they turn off so quickly. Yeah. Doing great, babe. Like I said when I was driving, forward momentum is the key, especially when traction is of concern, which it will be in the looser sand. So that's the thing that for you to remember, for y'all to remember as y'all are watching, just keep forward momentum. That is the supreme thing here, and that is why terrain mode in this is so different than the different drive modes that you get in all other trims, and why it's important that it allows some wheel slippage, so it doesn't just completely cut your power when the vehicle's like, oh, we're slipping, cut the power, and then you're just stuck, which is not good for anyone. So this allows those wheels to spin, and when they do catch traction again, they're still moving, and so are you. It's the important stuff. But the ride on it...
See, I'm a pro.
You are. I never said you weren't. The ride on this is pretty good. I don't know. They didn't really say that they did much different to the ride overall in this. no spring adjustments or anything like that. We just have that added ground clearance up to 7 inches of ground clearance, which really, again, is not a lot. Add to that the fact that we don't have underbody protection. It is, they made some interesting choices. Yeah, here we are in that soft sand. What's it feel like back there, over there?
Soft sand.
Yeah.
It actually I'm happier when I'm in control.
Yes. It's a different feeling when you're the one modulating the accelerator and the steering wheel.
Ooh.
Big rock. But yeah, much different feeling behind the steering wheel there. Another thing I want to talk about now that I'm over here, we have these all-weather floor mats. That is an upgrade for XRT.
Yeah.
All-terrain floor mats, as you were calling them. Another thing, you may be wondering, what's the penalty, the sacrifice for going XRT over, say, all-wheel drive limited? And they said the mileage penalty, so to speak, is only really 10 miles of range.
Yeah.
So the tires didn't make for a big penalty. Hey, look, like a pro,
I made it. I felt a lot better being in control.
The tires didn't make for a huge penalty. All the increased ride height and the change in airflow didn't make for a big penalty going with the off-road version versus something like the limited that we've spent all day in.
Now it's the price difference. The XRT is more expensive?
It is
about the same?
It slots under the limited. So the limited we have spent all day in, we have a separate video on, does start more than this, I think 58. This one starts at 55.4. And there really aren't a lot of options on XRT. It's kind of a prepackaged deal. You get what you get.
And you don't throw a fit.
And you don't throw a fit. This really is the prime example of what this was built for. Going through the desert, and I keep coming back to it, but again, without the extra protection underneath us, I can't imagine that there's a lot of serious off-roading I would do in this, and then the whole limitation with the cameras and the visibility, because again, the wheelbase on this is
I do not like.
the wheelbase on this is 4 inches longer than what you get in Palisade. So maneuvering this around in some situations, it's nice to have those extra eyeballs of the 360 cameras. Doing great, babe. I believe in you.
I knew I could do this.
I knew you could too. I'm having fun riding next to you.
You're being the passenger princess?
Yes.
How does it feel over there?
I mean, it's comfortable over here. It's not jostling me to death. Like I said, I don't know that they did a lot to the overall ride and handling, other than the fact that, again, we have 18-inch wheels with more sidewalls on the Continental CrossContact tires. So I like the wheel tire combo. That is a huge win for me. So many times, I mean, we just had a Trail Boss Silverado with 20-inch wheels and tires, and I'm sorry, no. That's dumb.
No.
Give me the 18 inches with more sidewall and the more aggressive tread pattern. Because the tire really is the most important part. Like, yes, the drive modes are important. Yes, you don't want to lose traction. You want forward momentum. But in the event that traction is low, your tires help more than anything keep what traction you do have. And we're coming up on that mountain that you were talking about earlier, where we are kind of pointed up at the sky. It's a little hard to see. Again, it's where these 360 cameras will come in handy, as we'll be pointed toward the sky, as long as we're not going over 5 miles an hour.
Oh, this is what my nightmares are made out of.
You're doing great, babe.
Think I'm joking. I am not.
Well, I appreciate you taking it like a champ. All right, now we are on the short little loop of a final section on this. It's where I got a little more speed. I'm not saying you have to.
I'm not.
But yeah, it's fun, right? What would be your summary if one of your friends was asking about the XRT? How would you summarize this to them?
Is that it can handle most off-roading that most people do.
Exactly. I mean, boom, done. Go to print with that.
Yeah.
Because in all honesty, a lot of people, again, want to think that they can or feel that they can tackle whatever may come.
But I mean, when it boils down to it, and you're the one writing that check, are you gonna want to take the chance that you?
Well, there you have it.
This is what most people would feel comfortable doing.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. If you want to know more from Holly, see some of her behind-the-scenes stuff from this trip, go find her on Facebook and Instagram at Female Consumer. You can find all things GT Garage Talk at GT Garage Talk, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, you name it. Oh, there's that soft stuff. All of that is at GT Garage Talk, or you can go to GTGarageTalk.com. But as for us, as we're sliding in the loose sand, until next time, gearheads. Bye. See, that's where your snow driving comes in handy. Remember all your steer into the skid.
Yeah, I did a good job, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Great job, babe.
Thanks. I knew I took that snow driving lesson for a reason, not for the snow.